Hi, this is Kathy and this is Casablanca Cargo. I want to do an update on the Mermaid journal. And I have been busy working in it, but I want to basically, let's do a little flip through and then I want to talk about all of this going on here. Okay, so still need to do the inside, and I'm just going to flip through quickly. I'm not going to really talk about the pages too much. I'll do that on the final flip through. But this is going to be a really nice writing journal. There's pictures on Instagram if you want to go see. Okay. So, use your tabs. What is wrong with you? Use your thumb turners. Use them. So, yeah, it's a lot of space. There, and with the pages being doubled, they can also hold things that you may want to glue in. Things that you find. Here's my double window. I have a video on how I made this. Did I tell you? No. Oh, hello. There we go. And I'm going to make a tag for that. I'll do that one with you. And let's see. I put some more stickers. I use sticker books. Do you ever see those for planners? That's what I use in my journals. I don't know, they're just so nice. And I know some of the stickers are real teeny tiny to put in a planner, but some of them are pretty big. And this is a trifold and pocket tags, and oh, it's just a whole working system there. This is hairpin founder glasses. And let's see, we're almost done. This is a story I wrote. I will tell you about that in another video. And this is a coin pocket. I'm gonna glue that in. And yeah, this is another little story. And the last page. Okay, so let's talk about this unusual edging here. I'm gonna go this way. Oops, sorry about that. So what I did was I wanted to make it look, let's see if I can hold this up right. I wanted it to look like the waves of the sea and the colors with the, you know, the different blues and the greens and the white spray and things like that. So let's come down here. Okay, going into my stash of things things to be sewn. This was some lace trim. It's very, well, it's not solid, yeah, really. So what I did was I took a piece of cloth and I sewed, well, this is all one, I sewed it to the page as I was sewing it all together, and yeah, it worked. Hung on, so that's good. And this is just a piece of tie-dye. Now, you may or may not see this piece of paper. And let me tell you what I did. Let me get my little bag here as I was going. Sometimes I needed it, sometimes I didn't. I have this paper. I don't know what line it is. I'm sorry. I didn't ever think I was going to have a YouTube channel years ago. So I pulled all my paper pads apart, most of them, because they were becoming too precious to me and I didn't want to use the paper. So I pulled them all apart. I sorted them into colors and types and, you know, thick paper, thin paper. because if there was ever a GSM on any of the paper I ever had, I never saw it, you know, numbers in me. So anyway, this paper has some texture to it, and it is almost like it's, now I know I'm going to say this wrong, but it's like a fiber. There's like fiber in the paper. So I had these offcuts when I was using it for other projects, and of course I kept them because I thought, well, they kind of look like tabs. Well, they're not high enough to be a tab, but I kept them anyway because, you know, I thought maybe I can use them for the top of a tag or something. And so they've got, I don't know, can you hear that? Yeah, that's the fiber. That's the fiber in the paper. So some of these, I was worried that because it is, you know, composition notebook paper, I was worried that sewing on it, it creates little holes, even though when I sew, I do a 4 length and a 4 width for it, you know, on the sewing machine, number 4, so they're large and not so close together that it's going to cause perforation, hopefully. But I wanted to reinforce some of them that I was worried about, and so for this one, I just, as I was sewing the fabric to the paper, I just would back it with a little one of these things to give it some more stability, and hopefully that will not prove, you know, to be a dumb idea. Hopefully it'll help, you know. So anyway, you can see it in this one, but in, I'll show you in a minute. This one is just some leftover fabric I had from another project that were 2 strips. So I sewed it together, of course missed right there, but that's kind of neat now. And then I sewed it to the page, and instead of going straight, I sort of tried to wave the fabric a little so it would, you know, mimic the ocean. Let's see. Okay. There's mermaids. There's that. Now this is another one. Did I put the paper in there? I think this one I didn't get it in there. Look at that. See, I just ruined my whole theory. Anyway, this is 2 pieces of just scraps. This is a circle, and I sewed it to some muslin and made a little tab. Did I just miss this whole thing? Okay. This one is, I had this piece of ribbon, lace ribbon, and then I had some leftover cotton ribbon with a pattern on it, very subtle. So it's blue. I thought that looked cute. And then again, I tried to, you know, when you're trying to sew straight, you just, I'm always like, the machine's always like taking it, you know, it cuts to the left, but when I'm trying to do something, it wants to go straight. Oh well. Here's another one of that reinforcers. Got that there. And this is some more from a different project. It's a, I think it might be batik, but I'm not sure. But it just has a fun print, and I turned it into a ruffle. Just took it, I don't have an example here I can show you, but this one I just sort of crimped it. Oh, this isn't gonna work. You sort of crimp it, and then I have these clips, these sort of claw clips. This one I got these at Tuesday Morning. They're made for quilting. I don't quilt, but I just like the they're so big that they fit around really, really nicely into compromising positions. But I just held it with a clip, and then when I got down closer, I just, you know, took the clip off and just made sure it was so bunched in together. And this is a strip of cloth that I ripped into strips. And then this one I made it as a ruffle, but I used a fork. So I took the fork and you cinch it up, you start it upside down in the fabric, and then you turn it and hold it and cinch it up to the needle, remove the fork, and then sew. And then you just keep doing that repetitive until you get your length of ruffle. And that's how I made this blue teal pocket. Here's a little remnant, and this one does have the reinforced, the paper reinforced. Okay, this one I had this much left of this gold ribbon, and this is my Starry Night tag holder. And then I had this much of the yellow, so the sun is setting, and there's the gold into nighttime. This was the last of this green ribbon, and I had a little bit of this blue, and it's very soft knit fabric behind. And this one is just a heart that I had cut out from suede, and I believe that was a die cut. And then this is just a little piece of cotton muslin, but it has a little bit of texture to it. And then as I was sewing the heart onto this piece of fabric, I thought, well, I'm going to leave the heart open, and eventually I'll find something to put in there. I just lost that tag. This is working out so good for me. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to put something in there. And this is a piece of denim. It's a nice sturdy tab. Get my tabs and tags mixed up. This is more of that printed cotton, and then I had this little bit of green cotton, and I sewed the green cotton to this piece here, and then I sewed it all onto the page, and then here's the paper reinforcement. And this is just some green like t-shirt fabric. It's very soft. And then there's the paper, or there's muslin, and then there's the paper reinforcement underneath. And I think you could even tuck something under there. And then I wanted to use, this was one of the last store-bought purchases, in-store purchases I made a year and a half ago. And I haven't used it on anything yet, and I wanted to put it in here because it's pretty. And I just wanted it to be like, you know, the glistening of the water at the top of the waves. And I think, yep, oh, more. There's more. This is some printed fabric, and it goes from the peach and the yellow down to the blues and the greens in the water. And oh, this was the last piece of this trim that I had, so I sewed it to the muslin and just made a strip. And yeah, I think I sewed this all at once, so I just sewed the ribbon down as I'm sewing it all onto the paper, so it's just one continuous, you know, there's not an extra bit at the top. And I have this ribbon that says My Creation. That Tuesday morning it was on clearance. I've had it for, I just keep forgetting to use it, or I don't have a way to use it, but I thought I'm putting it in this one. So you just cut off a little piece, says My Creation, and sew that on there, and that is that. So yeah, so I have a lot of trepidation sewing on paper, but after this, oh, I got to tell you, as I was sewing this to get this up under the needle, I eventually had to turn my book like this. Look at that. I mean, and I was like, okay, this is it. It's going to break. It's going to break, and we're going to have problems, and pages are going to start flying out. And luckily, so far, they have stayed in, and I hope it is due to the fact that at the beginning I reinforced the spine, the stitching. I reinforced the stitching, and I used the glue, the Mod Podge, and the dried tea bags, and it's held. I mean, this thing, I had it going every time I had to go. So every time I was sewing on it, and I was like, oh no, now I gotta do it again. And I'd go like that, and I'd have the page and hold it, and I propped this book up, and sometimes I had to hold the book even more as it went further down the stitching, and hold this and do that. I mean, it was, you know, I could have used a third hand. Actually, it would have been a lot of help, but it's held. How about that? I mean, that's pretty cool. And yeah, so anyway, that's my update. Hopefully next week I will have this finished, and I will be able to do a flip through and show you what I've done, and then we can move on. So if you have a project that you're working on and you are on Instagram, please tag me and let me see what you're doing, because it inspires me. You all can inspire me with what you're doing, and we can learn from each other. So thanks for watching, thanks for joining, thanks for subscribing, thanks for being here. And I truly appreciate you all so much. I'm just blown away every day that I get up and do this, and I think, wow, so many wonderful people are out there. So please keep safe, keep cool, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.